Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming out. My name is Blaine Monaghan. I'm the CEO of Fremont Gold Limited, a Nevada-focused gold exploration company. Now, we all have our own ways to judge the merits of a company and why we should invest. I follow my own little model, and it's based on the P's. I look at people, place, projects, paper, and there's a few other ones in there, but I'm just going to keep it pretty short and sweet, and all of the P's are represented here. So at Fremont Gold, we've got a great team. Dennis Moore, who I'm going to introduce and talk to a little bit later, he's the one that's been behind the 4 million ounces gold discovered. Dennis, stand up. Yeah, there you are. So we've got a great technical team. We've got a strong board and advisory committee. As far as the jurisdiction, we have 6 projects. They're all located in the great state of Nevada. And I talk a little bit more about Nevada later on in the slide, and it was ranked number 3, but yesterday the Fraser Institute put out a new report, and it's now number 1. So when I say it is the world's greatest mining jurisdiction, it is. As far as the projects, we have 2 past producing gold mines and 4 earlier stage projects. So I like that because the portfolio itself is a hedge. You have a mix of brownfield assets, which I consider less risky, and some earlier exploration stage projects that can generate significant returns. On the paper side, I talk about align with shareholders. It's not only that, we don't have too much stock out, 53 million shares. Insiders own 20%, so we put our money where our mouths are, just like any other investor. I talked a little bit about the people. Myself, I got my start in 2001 with Wheaton River Minerals, which was a shell that Frank Justa used to re-enter into the gold market and ultimately merge with Goldcorp to become what is Goldcorp today. I've worked with 12 companies. 5 have been subject to M&A. One of the more recent ones was Camplats, which was acquired by Goldcorp in 2010 for $300 million. I talked a little bit about Dennis. Dennis has an extensive career in South America, and when he was looking to found this company, he was looking, in 2 jurisdictions, and it was simply Nevada or Western Australia, somewhere that he could leverage his expertise in making new discoveries that had great infrastructure and rule of law. Nevada really fits the bill. I don't show his name on this, but on our advisory board, we recently added Doug Hurst. He was the former executive chairman of Northern Empire that was recently acquired by Coeur. So we've, frankly, for a company of this size, I think we've got a great management and board. As far as our projects go, all of our projects are located in northern Nevada in the Carlin and Cortez Trends. The 2 past producing projects are the Gold Bar and Gold Canyon. These are adjacent to and surrounding McEwen's Gold Bar project. So it's a little confusing. We control the original Gold Bar mine. And one of the satellite pits, McEwen is developing 4 of the satellite pits, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Nevada is prolific. Almost all the gold comes from these trends where we're located, and you can see some of the recent transactions there last year. You had Coeur and Northern, Hecla, Klondex, Alio, Rye-Patch, and frankly, I mean, it's a great jurisdiction, and if you're a mid-tier or a senior and you don't have exposure, you want it, and whether that's by developing an asset or merging or making strategic investments, every major has some level of involvement in the state of Nevada. A little bit of history on the Gold Bar mining complex. So this was developed by Atlas from 1986 to 1994. They developed, all of our projects are in yellow here. We control the original Gold Bar mine, which produced about 300,000 ounces gold. There's a historical resource called the mill site of about another 150,000 ounces gold. And then Atlas developed 5 satellite pits to the northwest, and McEwen is developing 4 of those, which I mentioned, which they also call the Gold Bar project, and we have the 5th pit, Gold Canyon. So our goal here is simply to find additional zones of mineralization, whether that's along strike or to depth, and the goal ultimately to be attractive as an M&A candidate, whether that's at a corporate level or a project level for either one of these projects. I talked a little bit about Gold Bar. We just completed drilling. I'm going to show you what we did. So you can see the Gold Bar mine there in red and the mill site deposit, which was offset and drop block. So our theory, or Clay Newton, our VP Exploration, who's a PhD structural geologist, his theory was that essentially that, mill site is offset from Gold Bar. So any potential strike extension to the Gold Bar to the south would be actually to the southeast. It wouldn't be directly along strike from Gold Bar, where most of the historical drilling was completed to test for additional extensions. So we did some soil sampling on that. We identified a number of geochemical anomalies, which we've tested. We just wrapped up a drill campaign about 2 weeks ago. So the samples have been sent to the lab. Assaying is being done right now, and I expect to see some results sometime early in April. Now, Gold Canyon, we had finished our drilling at Gold Bar, and we contemplated getting to Gold Canyon right away, but I'm sure we're all aware that the weather this past winter in most jurisdictions has been really, really tough. Gold Bar is located in the flats. It's easier access. Gold Canyon is in the hills. There was a lot more snow. The weather has been particularly cold. And we just decided for health and safety reasons and for budgetary reasons, it might make more sense to just wait until the weather clears up a little bit and we won't risk spending our money unwisely. So we're holding off drilling Gold Canyon right now, and I'll provide updates on that in the future. But Gold Canyon, so that was the fifth pit, and essentially it's immediately adjacent to McEwen's Gold Bar project. It's really just an extension of the ore body. It's less than 800 meters away from the Gold Ridge pit. So I think it's going to make sense at some point in time that Gold Canyon is going to be a part of McEwen's operation. Our goal here is to test our models. We know that there's another mineralized horizon to depth, which wasn't exploited. We've also identified a number of other targets, which you can see there, the French in the northwest. And that's just a view of the Gold Canyon pit. Well, that was taken in the summer. It was quite nice. So you can see some of these anomalies. These are high priority targets. We're currently trying to determine whether we should be going after, which target we should go after first at Gold Canyon, and that's the lower mineralized horizons, which we had initially planned to test. But now that we've delayed it, we're thinking it might make more sense to go after these targets along the ridge, which have never been tested. So that would be some new discovery and would certainly increase the profile and perhaps a priority for McEwen on Gold Canyon. Now, Gold Canyon and Gold Bar are the focus. Our goals there are to find more mineralization to make it attractive as an M&A target, but that can't be our only strategy. Our other strategy is to go out there and make new discoveries. We are dedicated to discovery, and that's a goal for us here, is to come up with a brand new discovery. And North Carlin is just one of the projects, but it's one I want to focus on because we're very keen on it for a number of reasons. It's located at the very northern end of the Carlin trend. And my analogy for North Carlin is actually Gold Standard. So in 2012, Gold Standard was a small little junior just like us, exploring at the southern end of the Carlin trend, where there shouldn't have been any more gold. 2012, they came up with a brand new discovery, and today they're a $500 million market cap company. So that's the type of potential that a new discovery in the trend can return, and that's what we're looking to replicate at North Carlin. So we're at the very northern end. We staked this. We carried out some earlier exploration work. We've identified a nice mag high and some coincident mercury and gold geochem on the flank of it. This is a first-class exploration target. It's something we'll be looking forward to getting to test later on this year. So our strategy simply is to get out there and drill. We're looking to find additional mineralization at Gold Bar and Gold Canyon. As I mentioned, we've just finished drilling at Gold Bar. Assays are pending. I expect to see something on that early April. Gold Canyon, I really want to test those ridge targets, and ultimately on the more greenfield exploration space, I want to test North Carlin. I'm very excited about that target. And of course, we have our eyes open for other opportunities, but for a junior, you really have to be cognizant of your time and your resources, not only from a budgetary standpoint, but from your people and resources. There's only so much you can do and focus your energies on, so we like to keep a tight focus. I'd only expect to see us acquire additional projects if they're really high quality and we're better than any other asset we had right now, and so far, we haven't found any. I'm going to be ending it here right now, but please come and join us. Once again, Blaine Monaghan for Fremont Gold. Thanks very much. And if you have any questions, come talk to me. Thank you.